Let's start a podcast.
It's a great idea.
Let's do it. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Mac and Smitty Show. We've been talking about this for a long time, it feels like.
15 years to be exact, man. Since what? 11th grade, high school?
11th grade, Jack Britt High School,
Mac
the
and Smitty
origination
Show.
of the
Let's go.
Mac and Smitty Show. I'm Eric Lain, Isaac Smith here. We're going to do a lot of fun things. So today's episode going to be a little bit different because we're together. We're in the flesh. And we're going to just let y'all know who we are, and we're going to do it while we're working out.
Yes,
so
sir.
let's get to work.
Let's do it.
Come on. All right, guys, so really we are going to be working out this entire time, and we just want to tell you a little bit about ourselves. So Ike, you're the strong man here today, obviously.
Yes, sir.
Who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? What's your maiden name? Mama's maiden name?
Yeah, man. So right now, Raleigh, North Carolina, NC State grad. Obviously, we talked about how we know each other from high school, Jack Britt days. But, man, since 2011, been in Raleigh. As he said, I'm the strongman coach, professional strongman athlete, and lover of lifting and picking up heavy stuff. So it just kind of all came together between college football and what I eventually grew to love, and we were still able to keep in touch and combine those newfound loves, and here we are, man.
I think
traveling
the
the
interesting
world, getting
thing
it
too is really just how we started this, because we've been lifting. I mean, we talk about powerful beyond measure. We'll
That's
get
what
into
I'm
that,
saying.
I'm sure, at some point.
Yep.
For a long time. But what made you fall in love with lifting? Like, how'd you get to like that point?
Honestly,
Because you ran cross country
Yeah.
in high school.
no, I played baseball in high school. Ran cross country on the side. Honestly, deep down, that was my way of getting out of playing football. But what made me fall in love with lifting was obviously you just get addicted to the results.
Yeah.
So I think it was obviously we had our weightlifting classes. I took it 10th grade and then twice senior year. And then when you were getting ready for Clemson, I was like, you know what, this is kind of dope. So going off to school, I'm not out partying, fell in love with the gym. And I was like, oh man, I gotta put some weight on.
Yeah.
And then, one thing led to another, met some people, found powerlifting, found strongman, and fast forward, over a decade, here we are.
Yeah.
And now can't keep me out the gym.
It is fascinating to see. And then, like you said, with the different things that you've done, I mean, you've done a bunch of different meets, you've done a bunch of different styles of lifting.
Right.
And you're a strongman pro. I mean, it's a big
crazy,
deal.
man.
You got your pro card. Just, I guess, walk through a little bit of like that journey and how you got to that.
Yeah, man, I think growing up playing sports, everybody's aspirations is to be a professional athlete, right?
Yeah.
And then as you grow up and you kind of realize, like, reality hits, it's like, well, maybe this isn't going to happen. And then fortunately, doors open and you just kind of learn about different endeavors. So the way that you can achieve your pro card in strongman is, certain places, top level places at big level shows. But for my specific example was Strongman Corporation National Championship, which was last September 2024 in Greenville, South Carolina. Took second place, podium, so top 3 spots, gets their pro card. And sure enough, man, made it happen. And then March of this year, so a couple months ago, competed at the Arnold, which is now Arnold, traditionally speaking, it's the Arnold Amateur Classic, but now it's a Pro-Am. So it's like my first pro show. Didn't do as well as I wanted to, but it's still, man, I'm competing on a pro level stage.
Right.
So it's like,
Right.
That's like going to the NFL and not scoring a touchdown your
Sure.
first professional game.
Sure.
So there's always room to grow.
Yeah.
My biggest things is, you go hit some PRs, you walk away healthy, you lift, you train another day,
Right.
and then just continue to have fun with it.
Yeah, I think another really cool thing that we've touched on a little bit here is your shirt right
Yes,
there.
sir.
As you people see, Smith Strength and Wellness.
Let's go.
You also are an online coach. And
Yeah,
you figure
man.
Things out that way. Where did that kind of entrepreneurial piece come
Man,
from?
it's like my mom and brother are very entrepreneurial minded. And my brother would always push me, like, hey, you need to start this business, start this, start that. I was like, man, whatever. But push comes to shove, I'm personal training at Crunch in Cameron Village in Raleigh, and then the pandemic happens. So I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? All the gyms are closed. And of course, I'm finally hitting my stride as a trainer, as a strength coach. And I was very fortunate enough to have about 8 clients of mine who still wanted to continue to train. Like, hey, you got a place that we can train? And the November before, so November 2019, my now wife, she just randomly purchased a squat rack and a barbell for her, for the garage. Fast forward, we had enough equipment to keep training people. And then I was like, man, it's fantastic being my own boss. Gyms opened back up 6 months later, and I was like, I'm not going back. Smith Strength and Wellness is on and popping. So I had people training in person, and a lot of my online clients were strength athletes. So strongman competitors, general strength training, and some power lifters. And then just, as I continued to grow in the sport myself, seeing their success, I think 2021, I had my first athlete get her pro card. And yes, even though it is strongman, I have honestly a lot more women athletes than male. So that's pretty cool. It's a very inclusive sport, and it's just great to see the value and the, their appreciation of the sport and me, and just kind of like, man, I never knew I could do this. Thank you for believing in me and just like encouraging, right? And then, like I said, just the autonomy, having the freedom to run a business and fulfill my vision. It's just nothing more rewarding, right? It's one thing to have these small victories and you're just like, oh yeah, I did this, and you either get looked over or not recognized, but it's like, no, I had this, this plan was placed in my heart. God gave me this vision, able to bring it to fruition. It's like, boom, it's great. So I wouldn't trade it for the world, even though I have tried to trade it, but I was just like, man, I come back to it, come back to it every time. All right, man. So tell us about your lifting journey.
Yeah, it's the one that started long ago, right? Strap in. No, but actually, funny enough, played football, pretty much my whole life. And, I think that it's so side to side with that. Like football is obviously a violent sport where you need to be big, fast, strong, all these different things together. And weightlifting is obviously a big proponent of that, an immediate helper, right? Like you find that guys who are, stronger, more explosive, faster, all these things are good in the weight room, right? And it's something where you can instantly change things right in here. But it's one of those things I joked about a long time ago. It didn't start that way because my dad was really, I don't think hesitant is the right word, protective, he had a plan. He had a purpose of when he wanted me to start lifting. And that wasn't until like 9th grade and maybe even a little farther past 9th grade, which, some people didn't understand. Some of my coaches and things, I'm on varsity as a freshman, they want you to lift. And my dad's like, not really, not yet. And I think it worked out okay. Dad, you did a great job. Proud of you. But it was one of those things that like always working out and doing hills and jumping and, push-ups, sit-ups, chin-ups, like working out has always been vitally important. And one of those things where like, you're going to do this, like you're going to make this happen. And, I think that once the weight room came into it, that's where everything changed, right? And you turn into a big time prospect and you start getting, again, explosive, fast, strong, and knowing that that's directly correlated with right here, with pressing on things like this, with lifting things and exploding and just training really smart. So it's always been a thing for me, working out and things of that nature and having definitely times where you maybe fade away from the gym a little bit, but diving back into it where, man, the discipline that you get from in here, the time management, just the grinding, just putting your head down and I'm doing this. I'm doing this every day is so important in life and such a big thing that, I've continued to learn as we get older and we go through our fitness journey. And so it's a vital part of what I do and what I've done. But just to back up a little bit there to tell you more about myself. So I played ball at Clemson and, it was one of those things where, you walk into Clemson's gym and, weightlifting facility, weight room, and there's this wall and there's this strength and conditioning All-American wall. And that's something that, man, I wanted to be on. Like I get there an 18-year-old freshman, tight end, 245 pounds, and I'm gonna be on this wall. Like I'm gonna guarantee, I'm gonna make that happen. It's gonna be something where I have to do it. And, it's you can control that.
Absolutely.
You get in the weight room, okay, yeah, great, we have our training sessions, we have the things that we do as a team, but also, what are you gonna do afterwards? What are you gonna do when you're off, when it's spring break, or when it's a down period or a dead period, things of those nature? And man, the memories that I have, you just asked me this the other day, do you miss it? We were at practice watching, some teams play, and you said, what do you miss any of it? And I said, I miss the grind. I miss, going into that weight room, going onto that field, going into that film, whatever, with your brothers, because I think back of, my brother Sean, I think of Cannon Smith, my brother-in-law, Rhino Mac, Ryan Norton, jerseys that you guys will see or have seen if you followed me on my journey in my weight room. Those guys are all there, and we would put in the work. We would put in the extra time, and they were all integral part of me finally accomplishing that goal of, getting that strength and conditioning All-American thing.
Right. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, man. So obviously we're here in Arlington, Texas at the UFL headquarters.
How about that?
Right, man. So explain to us how we got
What
here.
are we doing?
What are we doing here?
How did we get here?
Like, talking about we're from North Carolina, Clemson, Texas. How'd
Now
this
we're
come
in
into play?
Texas somehow.
Yeah.
Great thing there. So with me, man, I work for ESPN, and I do college football primarily. The UFL has been a new thing. It's been really fun. The spring, kind of football league, a professional football league, a developmental league that, man, I needed. I would have loved to have had, but it didn't exist. So thanks, DJ, for coming up with this idea later. That's Dwayne Johnson. You ever heard of him? The Rock. He's pretty cool. Maybe we'll get him on the show.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
So they have this, and we're here. We're doing this. So me, man, with ESPN, man, it's been a crazy journey, because it's one of those things where I didn't necessarily want to do it. For sure. Because growing up, playing at Clemson, I was always kind of that guy, that would, kind of talk when people came. So when Fowler came, or Kirk Herbstreit, Marty Smith, all those guys, I was the one that would go and do interviews, and I was the one that would get to do those features and cool things of that nature.
Right.
They would always kind of, say, whether it was joking or serious, you should do this one day. You're pretty good at this. You should, kind of do sports media. And I was always like, no thanks. Like, I know what that entails, or at least I thought I did, with, the hours and the travel and being gone, and just didn't want that. Just wanted to be, I guess, closer or more at home. Because if we're going to do anything, we're going to do it full speed, and we're going to do something to the best of our ability. And so, fast forward, through a couple of different things with grad school and working in the athletic department, then working for a multimedia rights company, which was a great foundation for me. I got this opportunity with ESPN. So I do college football every Saturday. We're going to different places, and really that's kind of a piece of how this got created.
Absolutely.
Mac and Smitty, welcome back. Good to see you guys, because you and I are going to all these places.
Yeah, man.
And we're recording content, and we're doing things, and we're making all these really cool relationships with strength coaches and things of that nature. And we just kind of had the idea, let's put a camera in front of it and let's start talking.
Exactly. Because obviously there's always an assumption of what you think goes on behind the scenes, right? What you think goes on behind the scenes, what these guys are really like, what their personalities are outside of football. So I think it'll be real great to kind of, get to know these guys on a different level, a true level. And like you said, just keep building these relationships, touring these facilities, whether it's a university, something cool like this, man. It's just like, wherever there's weight, let's pick it up.
We're going to be there.
And put it somewhere else.
That's right.
So,
I love that.
Man. This is dope.
And I think that it's fun we kind of joked about it kind of in the intro there, but this literally started 15 years ago, jokingly.
Sitting in class. Not doing work we're supposed to be doing.
The Mac and Smitty Show was born.
Goofing off, talking about being on TV.
We had artwork. We had artwork. We can pop that up and show you guys. We had a PNG we can pull up here. And it's just always been one of those things. We've been best friends for a really long time. And I think you should share the origin story.
Yeah, man.
That.
So what? Ninth grade, we're sitting in our integrated systems of technology class because we're low-key.
Wait, we're smart too?
Yeah, we're nerds. At least we pretend to be. So we're sitting there. We're at these tables. There's two on each side. You got like a partition, your workspace. And I'm just sitting there. I'm 6'3", Eric's 6'5" or whatever. So I'm just sitting here going about my business, building my robot. I'm like, man, what do I keep kicking this wall? And then suddenly I see his head pop out over the side. Yo, if you kick my LeBrons one more time, we're going to fight to the death. And that's it.
Friendship was born instantly. My best friend forever.
All it took was a simple death threat, man. Right. So if you're looking for somebody to hold on to,
just step on their shoes first.
Scare them a little bit, and then they'll stick around. You got a friend for life.
Yeah, that's right.
But no, man, it's like I said, it's always interesting to see how you go into one thing with one plan, so to speak, and it's just, 180.
Yeah.
I went to school originally for engineering. Here I am, a professional strongman and strength coach, right? So that's not what I thought my life would
Right.
be like.
I
And
do health
obviously-
science, and here we are
Exactly.
doing TV.
Erickson,
What are we
health
doing?
science, we're going to the NFL, we're going to the NBA,
Right,
NFL.
right.
It's like, no, actually, we're going to be on ESPN.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, just, it's funny how life works, man. But,
is.
you know, glad to have you right
No
here,
doubt,
dog. And
no doubt.
the show's going to be dope.
It is. It's
So,
going to be a fun journey. So here's kind of the lay of the land, what we're going to kind of do. So it's Summer of Strength. That's what we're doing. So this summer, it's going to be really, really fun. We're going to sit down with some of our favorite strength coaches from the ACC. We're going to dive into all kind of different storied programs here. Florida State, Clemson, Miami, Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech. We're going to go through it all. NC State, North Carolina. It's going to be really fun. So all summer long, we're going to be bringing that to you guys. And then in the fall, as we kind of progress and we do some things, we have some friends that are pretty cool in the fitness industry.
We know some people.
That's right.
So
It's going to be a
good
fun time. It's going to be a fun time.
Yes,
Talking
sir.
about strength, using Ike's expertise. I'm going to just talk about what looks cool. He's the in and outs. But appreciate y'all coming on this journey with us.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a ton of fun. Lock in.
Yes,
'cause
sir.
We're about to go.
Buckle up. Here we go.